What's up, guys? So by now you know this is the Kia Stinger 2023 GT2 Grand Tour. I'm gonna give you a little heads up on how to get your hands on one of these from my friends at Miami Lakes Kia. And so basically this is gonna go over three things. The three main things. The first one is gonna be you're gonna need good credit. If you don't have good credit, then you got to deal with the money down problems. So good rule of thumb is to understand that for every $10,000 that you're financing, it's $200 a month. It's not including insurance, not including your tax, your tag, and all that stuff that's added on to the finance. But what you're gonna want to have is something a little bit above a 720 beacon score. I highly recommend you don't put money down. I highly recommend you have a great credit score. Don't put money down. Use the money. Pay the insurance for the car for the year. And whatever you have left over, make some initial extra payments. It's just basically you can cut down some savings on one end or another. Number two, when you go to a dealer, you generally know that they're there to do business. So they're going to want to make the biggest bang and biggest buck off of you. So you don't want to go over there, flashy, saying that you got all this and you got all that. You just basically want to go over there and say, listen, I'm interested in this kind of car. Can you guys get me in this car? The number two issue you're going to have is your interest rates. When to buy a car like this. For me, unfortunately, I had a lease to get out of, and I also had a finance that was I wasn't upside down on, so that helped out a lot with making the decision that, you know what, I went from a 3% interest rate to an 8%, which I could refinance at the end of the year. So it was a cost that I was willing to incur, not to be able to break out of the lease early, and not incur any penalties on breaking out of that lease. This is how I did it. But in your situation, the way you would want to do it is, you'd want to go with the trade-in. If you don't have a car, it's probably a lot easier because you don't have to do the transfers and all that other stuff. You just do everything in one shot there. So that would be like my number two rule, is to understand, what you're trading in, what's the reason for you to do it, and is the timing right. You want to generally buy a car when the interest rates are low. And number three, be willing to compromise with yourself that if you can't afford something, you just can't afford it. You got to understand how to use a calculator. Everybody's cell phone has a calculator. Everybody's cell phone has a calculator. Why is this not focusing? But anyways, so you just calculate. These are my expenses, X, Y, Z. It was a lot easier for me to own this car because I own my property. But if you're paying rent, then this is probably, gonna cost you around the same of what your rent would cost or something like that, depending on where you live. But anyways, just letting you know that if you guys are interested in getting your hands on a Kia Stinger or a K5 2.5, I highly recommend you guys try these people out at Miami Lakes Kia. I started off with them in 2020. I took full advantage of the impact from the heebie-jeebies disease, and I got excellent interest rates. I got my daughter a Kia Soul with a 2.5% interest rate there, and she had a terrible credit score. So, if you need to make a decision on what you want to do in life, this is definitely going to be something you want to step up to, bro.